Welcome to this explainer. If you're joining us today, you're likely looking toward your future as a registered dental practitioner in Malaysia. Whether you're well into your studies or just finalizing your prep, this roadmap is designed specifically for you, the 2027 Malaysian Dental Council registration candidate. My goal today is to walk you through the Professional Qualifying Examination, or PQE, with clarity and calm. We're going to break down exactly what's expected of you so you can approach this major milestone with total confidence. Okay, let's dive in.
So think of the PQE as a solid foundational benchmark. Its purpose is actually really simple and highly inclusive. It's designed to ensure safe, patient-centered, and competent practice for any candidate seeking registration with the Malaysian Dental Council from 2027 onwards. It basically evaluates your knowledge, your skills, and your professional attitude against national standards. Ultimately, this is all about protecting the public and confirming that you are fully prepared to serve your patients safely.
Here's our roadmap for today. First, Part 1, the theory examination. Then, Part 2, practical exercises. After that, Part 3, the clinical OSCE. Then we'll cover preparation strategies and finally, next steps for success. Part 1, theory examination, benchmarking cognitive competency. Okay, so Part 1 consists of one best answer and short answer questions. It covers a pretty broad spectrum of disciplines, everything from basic medical sciences all the way to ethics and professionalism. Now, here is the absolute critical rule for your strategy. You can attempt Part 1 and Part 2 in any order. There's literally no requirement to sit Part 1 first. However, and this is important, the moment you make your very first attempt at Part 1, a 3-year eligibility clock starts ticking. You absolutely must pass all 3 parts within that window, so definitely plan carefully. Moving on, Part 2, practical exercises, demonstrating safe clinical skills. All right, Part 2 is broken down into 3 specific practical components performed on phantom heads and patient simulators. Component 1 focuses on caries management. You're going to be given 90 minutes to restore a large ICDAS code 5 lesion on a standardized molar resin tooth. Here, the examiners are really looking to see your ability to achieve proper moisture control using a dental dam, execute complete caries removal without exposing the pulp, and then place a composite restoration that beautifully reproduces the tooth's natural occlusal morphology and proximal contacts. Next up, Component 2 assesses your precision. In this 90-minute segment, you'll perform a porcelain fused to metal, or PFM, crown preparation. Now, pay very close attention to the specific tooth being assessed here. It is an upper central incisor. You will not be prepping a molar for this component, so keep that in mind. You're expected to demonstrate uniform tooth reduction, create a smooth, continuous finishing line, and then follow it up by taking a high-quality secondary impression that clearly captures your preparation margins. Then, for Component 3, we shift gears to endodontics. You'll perform a root canal treatment on a single-rooted lower premolar. Again, note the specific tooth here, a lower premolar, not a molar. Now, the absolutely crucial point here is your time management. Unlike the first 2 components, which are 90 minutes each, this critical procedure gives you exactly 180 minutes. From access cavity prep and working length determination all the way through to obturation and coronal gutta percha removal, you need to demonstrate real precision and radiographic accuracy over those 3 hours. Now for the final phase, Part 3, the clinical OSCE, Objective Structured Clinical Examination. The number 10 is your main focus here. The OSCE consists of exactly 10 distinct stations. You'll spend 10 minutes at each station, with a quick 1-minute rest to read the scenario beforehand. What makes this part so unique is that instead of phantom heads, at each of these 10 stations, you'll be directly interacting with a simulated patient or an actor. At these stations, the examiners are strictly looking for 4 independent domains of competence. First and foremost, professionalism and patient safety. Basically, are you providing safe, competent, patient-centered care? Second is communication skills. How effectively are you gathering history and imparting complex info to your simulated patient? Third is diagnostic skills, which really tests your clinical reasoning and ability to synthesize information. And finally, clinical management and procedural accuracy. You actually have to pass each of these 4 domains independently to pass the OSCE. Preparation and expectations. How to succeed. So, to build your clinical reasoning and safety, you'll want to heavily review your clinical logbook and really familiarize yourself with the Malaysian Oral Health Guidelines. For the practical components, relentless practice on phantom heads is absolutely key. And remember that critical time difference we just discussed?
When you're practicing component 3, strictly time yourself to exactly 180 minutes. Finally, to master the OSCE's communication domain, please don't just read about it. Sit down with a colleague and actively role-play history-taking and patient communication. Actually speaking the words out loud to a simulated patient in practice will make all the difference on exam day.
Next steps and success before and after the PQE.
All right, let's talk logistics. First, you'll need to apply directly to the Malaysian Dental Council for a letter of eligibility. Once you have that in hand, you can register for Part 1 and Part 2 at an approved examination center. Remember, you've got the flexibility to sit these parts consecutively or on completely separate dates, whichever order best suits your personal prep strategy. After sitting for your exams, results are typically released within 6 to 8 weeks. And hey, if things don't go perfectly the first time around, take comfort in knowing that if you don't pass a single component in Part 2, for example, you are fully permitted to resit that specific component individually.
As you prepare, ask yourself this. Beyond just passing the exam, how will you use these foundational standards to elevate the future of Malaysian dentistry? You have trained for years. The PQE confirms you are ready to serve patients in Malaysia safely and with confidence as a dental practitioner. You have the skills. Show them. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I wish you the absolute best in your studies and your future career.